So
That's
when
right.
I woke up today, right? I always know when something big happens with one of my teams because I wake up because I always turn my phone off because so many people in my family just don't understand that. Oh yes, I forgot I'm 3 hours ahead. So I'm getting on a group family text at 6 a.m. So I always turn my phone off. So I turn my phone on and it's I'm going, oh, this is everybody who woke up this morning and found out that Kyle Tucker's a Dodger because that happened late last night, right? Like right when we went on the air, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. For a lot of my family, they're in bed by then. So they're just finding out, and here come the ha-ha-has. And all I see from the first couple of, as you know, your texts go and you just see them as they file in, I just see Bo, and I go, oh, we got Bo Bichette. Like right away I knew. It's like all I needed to see was his name, his first name. I said, we got Bo Bichette. Or Bo Jackson's coming out of retirement to play for the Mets. One of those two there, we got Bo Bichette. And my hands are cramping and they're shaking as I'm typing in to see. And when I saw the deal, I sat back and I said, we did better off the day after missing out on Kyle Tucker than the Dodgers did getting Kyle Tucker. And I thought, wow, now that's something that doesn't really happen. We just kind of lucked into that because I'll tell you what, you tell any MLB team, owner, fan, salary, luxury, taxologist, whatever it is, say, okay, what's the contract and player you'd rather have? Kyle Tucker, who's a terrific player, right? Multiple All-Star, but didn't have a great year last year. Got to make sure he's healthy. Do you want Kyle Tucker for that 4 years and $60 million a year because it's going to cut into luxury tax and whatever changes are coming with Major League Baseball? You know Rob Manfred's going to have to do something. The lockout is coming. Sure. Or would you rather have Bo Bichette for 3 years and $100 million? Terrific player, right? Really down year 2 years ago. Great year last year. But you got him for 3 years and just over 100 with a couple of opt-outs. Like, okay, if it works, great. If it doesn't, everybody moves on. You tell me which contract everybody would rather have. I'm like, the Mets failed and won. It was like pulling the Homer Simpson to succeed despite yourself, Mike Harmon.
Well, in the end, the Tucker contract, after 2 years, everybody can decide whether they like the world or not, right? And if Tucker's the guy that he thinks he is, then great. Same thing with Bo Bichette, that the fact that it's a 3-year deal. Look, I'll always take the shortstop. Yeah, I wish he hit from the left side, but that's okay. But I'll always take the shortstop over even a Gold Glove corner outfielder. Or an eventual DH, which Bichette certainly has done his time there as well. But all that in 3 years, it resets. Everybody wins in this scenario because of the short-term deal. He gets paid pretty good top of market money. And he's only entering, 28, so you're looking at your power prime and all of that fun stuff, proof of concept. Now he goes to New York, will team with Soto, and you start getting all excited about the heart of your lineup, reconstituted and loaded for bear. Remember all of the money that comes on and off books for everybody that got all upset about Kyle Tucker a night ago. But in 3 years, y'all reset and decide, hey, do we want to re-up? I mean, a lot of folks say they should do this with relationships, contracts are usually 3 to 4 years. I mean, all of these things. Let's reevaluate things and see where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, look, you have so much flexibility. Look, it's flexibility that's built into this one. Maybe you get it with Kyle Tucker. Maybe you don't. It depends. If the guy stinks, he's not opting out of $60 million. He's staying. You're stuck. Like this is a much better contract. 'Cause I remember talking last night in the final hour of the show where I said my big fear now for teams is what? I mean, not just the Mets, but other teams is that now that Kyle Tucker is off the board and off the board of the Dodgers, teams are going to panic. They're going to panic and overpay. And we said Bo Bichette and for Cody Bellinger and other players, and they're going to overpay and it's going to be really bad. I was stunned when I saw, okay, what's the deal? 3 years and just over $100 million and it 42. Wow, that's the deal? That's incredible. That's incredible. And not only that, we took him away from the Phillies, who it's like, wow, I mean, the Phillies really, this has been just a downward spiral for them the last few months from the end of the season where they couldn't win again. And Bryce Harper is being called just a good player by his GM, and they're losing players. They're losing relievers and starting pitchers. And now the guy they had earmarked to come in for 7 years and $200-something million is going to the Mets. Like this is, I mean, I don't get this kind of luck, which means now something really bad is going to happen. happen to the Jets, and Arvell Reese is going to decide, hey, I'm going back to school because I don't want to go to the Jets either at number 2. Like the Knicks, we're going to find out Jalen Brunson's taking some time away to go on a darkness retreat because he heard it was really good, and I'm going to rehab my ankle then. I mean, I know that this is too much luck for something good, so I know I'm going to have to pay somewhere else.
Well, but if Jalen Brunson takes some time away, as long as he's back by the middle of April, you're fine. Because they're not going to fall out of the 10 seed. The Eastern Conference stinks at the back end. Those teams, no matter what they do, they're not can't get out of their own way. I mean, they're trying as best they can, and it's just futility left and right. I mean, look at the standings as we sit here today. I mean, your Knicks could fall. I mean, the Pacers have 10 wins. The Wizards have 10 wins. Charlotte got its 15th. And then you got the Bucks and whatever becomes of the Bucks with their 17 wins just outside all of it. No, but like I saw this come down and immediately just had to grumble, going, we didn't even get 24 hours of mocking you before you walked in. Now, it would be nice if Bichette maybe drew an extra walk now and again and was more active on the base paths. I mean, those are things that we can all wish and hope for. Those are where you get a little more better off from Kyle Tucker. But when you talk about the value of a 3-year deal for a middle infielder with the all-star pedigree that you got, 4 straight MVP votes, 1 top 5 finish for him. So you've got a guy who's really coming into his own, and for Steve Cohen, he was able to put out his own white puff of smoke.
Yeah. The funny thing is you want to really go – I was going to call you with this story today, but I decided to wait to tell you now. So I get up and I'm starting my day and I'm going to the store to get coffee, right? So I'm driving. I got my Mets hat on and listen to music. I'm blaring. I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm like, yeah, I feel like the sheriff, right? I'm walking around. Yeah, get out of my way. You guys have paid $240 million to Kyle Tucker. We got a guy just as good for half price. Yeah, get out of my way. So I go in to get coffee and I got my Mets hat on, and the guy comes up and says, "Oh, Mets fan, huh?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Ooh, don't see a lot of those hats around here." And I said, give me a break. I said, what are you, a big Dodger fan? Like I was just I go, what are you, a Dodge fan? He goes, no, I'm actually a White Sox fan. I said, oh, my best friend is a White Sox fan. He goes, really? I go, yeah, he's as miserable as you are.
Oh.
And the guy said, but we got that big slugger from Japan. I said, sure, yeah, and you got the number 1 pick in the draft. He goes, yeah. I said, but your team stinks. You have nothing to worry about. You're going to be bad for a long time. The guy goes, I'm making you your coffee, right? I said, no, you're right. You're right.
That could end
so it was
badly.
kind of fun. But I tipped him very well, and I tipped him before I got the coffee. So he knew about the coffee when he knew that he was getting a good tip before he made me the coffee.
He's still spitting it.
Oh. No, he didn't. I watched him make it the whole time, right in front of me,
the whole time. Did he put like a thumb in there, and then you had to decide whether it was thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on how you spun the coffee cup around?
I kind of feel like this. If you're going to put your thumb in a piping hot cup of coffee, I kind of...
No, I didn't mean an actual thumb.
I thought
that,
that.
foam art, man. Foam art with the thumb, and then he turns it to you like it's a thumbs down, not like you have a picture of, some cartoon creature or something in there.
Hey, can you put Mr. Met in there? Can you make Mr. Met do you have that to make that happen?
Hey,
I don't know
baristas
if you do
all over the place, no doubt about it. But yeah, Bichette, 63 extra base hits here, 16th MVP voting, all of that off his, 311 batting average, 294 for his career. So that's one of those big wins to all of this. But yeah, we didn't even get 24 hours of you trying to rationalize why everything was okay and convincing yourself and trying to convince the world that it was. Because, look, I read off some of Tucker's stuff, and you got some big finishes, right? These last couple of years, between his run in Houston to the year in Chicago, even though the second half was injury-plagued and a bit abysmal. But you get the W, because they rallied nicely. They did not fold, and they had something else behind door number 2.
There was no folding. Last night I was like, well, what are you going to do? The Dodgers, just the evil empire, continue to add, and now they have $2 billion of salary that is due to their entire team. Like, how are you going to pay it off? And fans across the country are all upset, and I'm going, what are you going to do? And now I'm like, yeah, Bo Bichette, I'll see you in the NLCS. I'll see you this year. I had one day, I had a beer, I took a shower, because that's how we do it in the NBA, and now I'm ready to go again.
But that's just it, right? You start going through and do your debits and credits like you're doing an accounting class. Clayton Kershaw comes off the books. Other guys come off the books on the Dodgers side, so you add some back. And, yes, it's a very large number out there. Guess what? They make a lot of revenue. They've got their own revenue deal that was agreed to that a bunch of owners are now mad that they did. And so that'll get revisited as part of the inevitable work stoppage or 11th hour deal that has to happen to have baseball in 2027. But as it stands, shows other teams are ready to go spend some money because 3 for 126, while it ain't what Kyle Tucker got, ain't exactly peanuts.
Yeah, but like you like to say, it's not my money.
No. But that's I'm speaking to the folks that aren't you, me, Frostberg, Teichert, Steve DeSager, and others that recognize there's a lot of money being transacted. And you know what? Yeah, it is ours when we pay for parking and for our MLB TV accounts and everything else. But in the end, if an owner wants to compete, you can't be the White Sox. You can't be the Rockies and these teams that take their $100+ million from the national deals and just say, well, you know what? We're going to put half of it back on the field. They're not even putting it in those vending machines like you love to say so much.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? We've been talking about this for 9 minutes, right? 9 minutes. In the last 9 minutes, Steve Cohen has made $126 million. So it's okay.
He just might have.
In 9 minutes at 10 o'clock on a Friday night, he has just made $125 million. And wait till that casino opens. And then forget about it, man. Then it's going to be, hey, what's your salary cap this year? Yeah, we're going to try to keep it under $800 million. We got a lot of guys coming. We got some holes to fill. We're going to try to keep it under $800 million. Oh, okay, great. It's exciting. Exciting, Mike Harmon.
It's exciting times.
Friday night.
Because you got the counterpunch, and now we'll see who else jumps in.
Counterpunch my ace.